Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about a topic that somebody asked me about recently was how to be a good friend to somebody who's deaf or has hard of hearing. And I brought my husband on to kind of talk about this because he's hearing, I'm deaf, so we've kind of gone through a lot of these different things over the years. This is all my experience, and to remind you, I was born deaf, I have a profound hearing loss, and I wear a cochlear implant currently. Sometimes I wear a hearing aid, but it's been mostly the cochlear implant. And I not read a lot, so like I rely on being able to see your face for communication. And I don't sign normally, like I know sign, but I don't sign normally. So I'm pretty much in a hearing world, trying to get through every day in a hearing world. But I have a couple tips of how to communicate well with deaf people, but like how to be good with your friends deaf. So just with general interactions, a lot of times be mindful of like what's blocking your face. Like
Right.
yeah.
Don't talk like this and like.
Yeah. There are people that I've seen that are just like or like I don't like it when people like think, oh, she love breathe, and you have a secret that the other time you just go like I'm like I make it worse. But yeah, don't do that. That's mean. A lot of times people have learned over the years in talking to me, like to speak more clearly, to like be looking at me most of the time. Like he's always looking at me.
Yeah, I kind of like make sure that you're looking at me.
Yeah.
Because if she's not looking at me, then she can't hear me.
Yeah, like
So.
I need to be aware that you're even talking.
Right.
Don't mumble. Like.
I think I've gotten better at speaking since being with you.
Yeah. Definitely, because see that's where you learn when you're being friends with me. It's like you learn how to speak better almost, but like just how to speak with me. And all my friends would say that they've changed their habits a little bit over time.
Right.
Oh, so that's just like speaking in general, but like we're thinking about like environments. So like a lot of times when you want to hang out with your friends, you want to be social sometimes, but like I get tired really quickly in certain environments. So like if my friends are going out to like a bar or something like that, I will go, but usually I don't stay very long because it's a noisy environment, it's dark, it's hard to breathe in the dark, so I mean, you know that I get tired sometimes, or I just like tune out when we're out with people, right?
Yeah, especially when there's a bigger group.
Yeah.
Like, the bigger the group and the louder the space, like the worse it is.
Yeah.
Right?
So, if you really want to have quality hanging out time, think about what environment you're gonna be in. So like say, hey, let's get a cup of coffee. Like coffee shops are a little bit more quiet, like easier, more like one-on-one. Or even a restaurant is better than going to like a bar. Like, but some restaurants are also like really dark in there, so think about that sometimes. Like there've been places that we've gone to that's just like really dark, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and like they can be like more echoey or less. Like if it's kind of a bigger space, like you can have a lot of echoes going around, and that makes it harder too. I believe,
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why like sometimes I don't like going to parties because it's like.
Me neither.
That's why I'm married to you. But like parties, like I'll make the appearance, but like the small talk with people and strangers especially. It's like how it is. Just like you don't know what it's gonna be like. So a lot of times at parties, one often running interferes for me. Like everybody's having a conversation, then like I get lost and I'm like, what's going on? What did I miss? Or like, and he'll like just tell me what's going on. Or
At
like
least the gist of it.
yeah, just get me caught up to speed a little bit quicker because sometimes these social environments, the topic changes so quickly and you just like, I don't know what we're talking about anymore. But that's
Yes. I'd say like just don't get annoyed that you have to repeat yourself because like that's just the reality of it. And like repeating what other people have said in a conversation, you got to do it. Like don't think like, oh, I have to repeat this again. It's just like being a good friend for a deaf person, like you got to accept that that's the reality.
Yeah.
And like yeah.
But like another thing that I feel like if I'm in a group of good friends, a lot of times they've learned how to keep me in the conversation. Like I think people are not speaking as fast or like more people are willing to like catch me up and I'm sure wait, what did I just miss? Like you know, like not just him, like more of my friends are able to just jump in and kind of like key me back in. And then a lot of them can tell when I've lost track. They're like, are you okay, Anna? Like, this and that. I'm just, I have no idea what we're talking about. But like my friends also learn to not say never mind or I'll just tell you later. Like, 'cause nobody ever tells you later. Like,
Right.
nobody ever does.
Yeah,
like,
that's basically I'm not gonna tell you.
Yeah. But that's like in general like environments. But like another thing with social activities, like the things that we've learned over the years, like some games that we can that can't even really play, and people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about this the other day, but like charades, I could play charades. I'm good at charades. You think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decent.
I'm good at charades, but I have no idea when somebody actually guesses what I'm trying to act out.
Right.
So we've developed tricks over the years where like one person knows the clue, whatever,
Yeah.
another person not actually playing knows it and can like signal, oh, they got it.
Yeah, and I feel like there's a few word games or something like that that are like that like you just don't hear when someone because everyone's yelling it out.
Yeah.
So
Was it like taboo? I don't know. We've had so many different game names, but
there's that like handheld game.
oh,
I forget
with
what
the
that's
button.
called. Yeah,
Oh, I hate that one.
I forget what it's called though.
I forgot too.
But
But-
yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being willing to kind of either adjust the game a little bit or even try a different game because like some it's just like it's really hard and like just being conscious of that
Yeah.
helps a lot.
Yeah, and then another activity that a lot of my friends like to do is going to the movies. So, pretty much my whole life, I always went to the movies with them. But I have no idea what happened to any of the movies. Like, none of these movies had subtitles or anything like that. I think things are getting better at this point. Where more movie theaters have subtitle options for me.
I feel like most these days do.
Yeah, except for like the small theaters.
Yeah.
But a lot of my friends have kind of learned over time that we don't really go in the movies as much anymore. Like, we're more likely to do like a movie night at a friend's house. So that way they could turn the subtitles on. Like all my friends automatically turn subtitles on. And there's been times where like we got a movie and then there's no subtitles and they got upset on my behalf. They're like, what?
That's
So
important.
that's another thing about being a good friend, that they get passionate about the issue that I face sometimes. So it's nice to have somebody else in your corner, like, annoyed with you.
Right.
Instead of just, like, brushing off, like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like
dismiss it.
caring that you have the same experience that
Yeah.
they're having. Like, that's an important thing. Like, I personally, I feel like almost uncomfortable when like you're like there's no subtitles and I'm watching something. Like, I'm always worried, like, did she catch that? Did she catch that? Like, are you following along as well as I am?
Yeah, there was a few times we've watched movies without captions because depending on where I am, sometimes I don't like to speak up and be like, hey, can you turn the captions on? Like, I don't want to be that annoying person that will just watch the movie and I'll just be like, kind of paying attention, but not really.
I feel like when I'm around, I enforce that rule.
I know. So yeah, that's how you could be a good friend. Just know, okay, turn the captions on right away. Or like if you're at a party or something like that and they're watching a movie, like, or if somebody was saying, hey, can you turn subtitles on? Like, it doesn't have to be me always pastoring.
Right. And I feel like some people get like annoyed when people turn the subtitles on, and like I feel like that's just not cool. Like,
yeah, some people are, but I think as time gone on, more people want the subtitles these days.
yeah,
Like, I was talking with a few of my friends, a lot of them do keep the subtitles on all the time now. Like, even when I'm not there.
I personally like them. I
Yeah.
always feel like I'm
Some
missing
people-
something if
You
they
just have to
I
get
don't have them on.
used to it.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, getting used to it, because like some people are just like so focused on the subtitles when you turn them on that
Yeah.
they're like not watching the movie.
Yeah.
But
So
it
that's-
takes a little practice.
Yeah, all of these tips take practice, you
Right.
know, like, I mean, you're not gonna, you may have hiccups in the beginning of being friends with somebody who's deaf, you know, like, where, like, if I just met you and you're, like, a fast talker or something like that, I'll probably be, like, reminding you, hey, I didn't catch that, or, like, can you talk slower, or, you know, things like that, and I think the more you hang out with me, you kind of adapt your behavior. Trying to think what else, if there was anything else. Oh yeah, so your main thing was you saying, like, don't assume, like...
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Like, when like you're playing games or something, like, don't assume that like she won't be able to play them, like, or like the deaf person won't be able to. Like,
yeah, so, like, don't
ask them
assume,
or-
like, oh, because this is a game where you listen or something like that they won't want to do it. Like, at least ask first, like, hey, would you want to play this? Like,
or like, would this be hard for you to play, or
are you up for this? Like,
yeah. If it's not like blatantly, there's no way to play it. Like,
yeah,
if you can't hear things, or like,
yeah,
it's kind of
Yeah.
a fine line.
yeah, but you don't want, yeah, so basically just don't assume, just be willing to ask the questions all the time, like, we will tell you, like,
Yeah.
what we're comfortable with, and what we need in order to do it,
Right.
because, like, we're very good at adapting to a lot of things,
Yeah.
like, we make things work.
Anything else?
I mean, there's a few more issues, but I think these are very good points to start with for now. But this is all from my experience growing up in a
Nice.
hearing role.
I guess my experience with being with
Yeah, I mean, he's been with me for 10 years, so you've had some practice.
Yep.
But this is all my experience. This is not what every deaf person experiences, but you know, it can't hurt to learn what they need. Don't be afraid to ask them these kind of questions, like if that
Right.
gonna help them.
Right.
So, I hope you learned something new today. Did you have something else? Were you saying something?
No.
Okay. I'm happy to talk more about this topic if that's what you're interested in. If you have any more questions about what it's like being deaf, leave it in the comments down below. Also, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you learned something new today. Thank you to my husband for coming out today. And then I will see you another day. Bye.